I was waiting for it. Morning, Pete. Hi everyone, welcome to your morning practice, or whatever time of the day it is for you. We've got an hour of Vinyasa together. So we're going to start in Shavasana. On your back. If you want to bring it into a soup to Baddha-Konasana, soles of feet together, knees wide for a little bit of hip extension, rotation, and do that for yourself. Otherwise, just lie down comfortably, close your eyes, and start straight away to connect to your breath. You know, they say in challenging times, and not just like, you know, personally challenging times or the pandemic that we find ourselves in, but just in general, during challenging times, it's good to go back to basics. Even if you're working on a project at home or, you know, at work, and you hit a bit of a stalemate, it's good to go back to basics. Really basic of our yoga practice and any yoga style is what we call a beginner's mind. And so just for a moment, while you're lying in your Shavasana or whatever shape you're lying in, see if you can just recall briefly, and try not to recall an emotional response, just remember your very first experience of yoga. Like I said, try not to make it emotional. Try not to get attached to, you know, how you experienced it. Just remember the experience. Part of the modes of our mind, we have our smriti. But what happens is when we recall memories is that we attach ourselves to the experience of the memory. So the like, the dislike, the good, the bad. See if you can just remember. Remember what it was like to not know what on earth was going on. For it to be really new and fresh, that you had no idea of what you were about to experience. Every single pose, every transition was brand new. And yeah, you might have felt uncomfortable and a bit Gumby-like because you didn't know your rights from your lefts and your legs from your arms. But just bring your mind back to that memory, that beginner's mind that was not conditioned. Now, depending on how many practices you've done, now your mind's conditioned. Kind of knows what to expect, where we're going next. See if you can chuck all that in the bin and come back to a beginner's mind. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, he uses the word kyate a lot. And kyate means innocent mind, or innocent awareness, or just innocence. And so we're going to see if we can tap into that innocence, that beginner's mind again. Approach our practice without conditionings. Start to wash your back out, windscreen wipe your knees side to side. If you need to drop them to one side and stay there for a breath or two, if you need to take a deeper stretch into the rotation, then do that. But just start to mobilize the spine through the rotation. And then hug your knees into your chest and start to massage out your lower back. You can either do circles or just a sway from side to side. Back's coming into a bit of flexion here. Give your knees a nice tight hug as well. Even lift your head and shoulders and bring the spine into even more flexion. We're going to come straight up into our downward facing dog. So rock yourself up and over. Cross your ankles. Set your hands up, front of the mat, shoulder width apart, wider if you need the space. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Tuck your toes, send your sit bones to the sky and pedal your heels out. beginner's mind, innocent mind, like it's the first downward facing dog you've ever done. You're experiencing, the strength required, but also the stretch. All the great gurus of past and present, they all teach the same thing. And that enlightenment is a process of unlearning. Even Lao Tzu taught that, knowledge is learning one thing every day. Wisdom is unlearning one thing every day. Take in 3 more breaths in your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. In that Kyate, that innocence. This will bring you into your ragdoll. So walk your feet up, take them out wide, bend your knees a lot, hang over your legs. Do whatever you need to do. Any variations here with arms, with legs, with torso. You've got 5 more breaths. Enjoy the luxury of ragdoll. Come into a halfway lift, toe heel the feet in. And then release back down to your forward fold, bending your knees. Slowly roll yourself to standing. Take your time. Roll through the spine. Once your head reaches the top end, reach up, breath in. Hands to heart, close your eyes. Let's vibrate. Deep breath in. Our minds are so coloured and so conditioned. Kyate means to come back to the innocence. Innocence of a child, innocence of a beginner. Drop all the conditionings. Unlearn. The path of wisdom. The path of enlightenment. Look up, reach up, take a big breath in. Forward fold, breath out, hands to the floor, bend your knees. Halfway lift, inhale. High plank, exhale. Set your hands up underneath your shoulders, wrist stacking underneath elbows. Push the floor away, hug your thumbs in, modify with your knees on the floor if you need to. Make sure you grip the mat with your fingertips so your wrist joint stays safe as well. Breathe in, shift forward, lie down, breathe out. Cobra pose, 2 of them, loop, lift the shoulders, release back down and empty. Cobra pose, inhale, Bhujangasana. Downward facing dog, exhale. Stay in your down dog, breathe, maybe even close your eyes. And remember what it's like to be a beginner. You've got no idea where you're going next, no preconceived ideas, no forward thinking into the future. You are right here in this moment. Try not to attach yourself to the struggle that it was that very first class. Take your right leg to the sky, bend the knee and peel the hip space open. Now stay here, open up through that right hip and through the back of the left leg.
I'm going to come into a low lunge, so use your core, bring that right foot towards the right thumb, drop the back knee down to the floor. Sink in this low lunge, breathe in, half Hanuman, breathe out. Send the weight over the left knee, send your right toes to the sky, fold over that right leg, stay. We're going to come forward into a low lunge twist, but we're going to leave the back knee on the floor. So you tuck the toes there just for a bit of leverage. Take the weight in the left hand, take the right hand to the sky. Just notice, open up through the chest, gaze up if you can as well. With the back toes tucked, you lift straight back to your downward facing dog. You go left leg to the sky, breathe it in. Bend and peel open.
This path of unlearning requires a willingness to let go of what we think we know. Bring the foot through, low lunge, drop the back knee to the floor. Sink down through the hips, take a breath, and then you take the weight over the right knee, left toes go to the sky, you fold over the left leg. Half Hanumanasana. We come forward again with a twist, but leaving the back knee on the floor. So plug the right hand in, take the left hand to the sky. Tuck the back toes though, so they're ready to go. Lift up through the pit of the belly. Open up through the chest, even gaze up, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Shift your weight forward, high plank, fill up. Stay here if you need to modify, knees on the floor. Grip with your fingertips. Breathe in, shift forward, keep the belly lifted, lower all the way down. Just one cobra pose. Loop the shoulders, lift up, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Walk your feet forward for one more ragdoll. Take the feet out wide as you need them to be, hang over. Last breath here. Halfway lift, lengthen out, toe heel the feet in. Forward fold, exhale the breath. Bend your knees, roll yourself up to standing. Once the head reaches up, big breath in, reach the arms, hands to heart, close your eyes. Be willing to unlearn, willing to come back to the innocence, the innocent mind, unconditioned. Legs flow, look up, reach up, big breath in. Forward fold, breath out, bend your knees as much as you need. Lengthen to your halfway lift, fill. High plank, empty out, knees down to modify. Take a deep breath in. If you're ready, low plank to up dog, otherwise belly to cobra. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, taking it back. Right leg to the sky, fill up. Bring it straight through to your low lunge, dropping the back knee to the floor. Sink, breathe in. Send the hips back over the left knee, right toes up, stay. Full breath in. Long out. We come forward to the low lunge twist, back knee stays on the floor, tuck the back toes, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Left leg, take it up, breathe in. Bring it through, out breath, back knee drop, sink, inhale. Send the weight over the back knee, left toes to the sky, stay, full breath in. Empty, long out breath. Low lunge twist, left hand to the sky, breath in, downward facing dog, breath out. Shift forward, high plank, fill up. Lower belly, empty. Up dog or cobra, fill. Downward facing dog, stay, 3 breaths. And so this is where the work comes into play. Notice if you're forward thinking. Notice if the conditioning of all the many practices that you've done in your time putting a colour or a cloud even on this practice now. See if you can rewind. Go back to beginner's mind where you've got no clue where you're going next. Breathe in, breathe out. Look forward, float, front of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen out, fold down, empty. Reach up, Tadasana, inhale. Hands to heart, close your eyes, exhale. Stay, breathe in. Open mind, open heart, breathe out. Look up, reach up, inhale. Utkatasana, chair pose, exhale. Stay, fill, fold, empty. Halfway lift, inhale. High plank, exhale, float it back. Take a breath, down to low, empty. Upward facing, fill. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg to the sky, breathe in. Low lunge, breathe out. Drop the back knee, fill up. Send the hips back, empty out. Come forward into that low lunge twist. Inhale, lift the back knee this time, and then come into arrowhead on your exhale. So take the weight into the legs, reach the arms back. Lift up through the pit of the belly and loop your shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together while you sink in that right leg. Reach up, crescent lunge, fill. Come straight out to warrior two. Drop the back heel, separate the arms, set your gaze. Like you've never done a warrior two before. You're exploring just how deep your body can go. Engaging, focusing, breathing. Reverse, big breath in, open up through the side rib cage, stay. Bend the right knee a lot, big breath in, downward facing dog breath out. So hands to the floor, step the right leg back, straight over to the left side, left leg up, inhale. Low lunge, exhale. Back knee down, sink in that lunge, breathe in. Send the hips back over that right knee, half Hanuman, breathe out. Come forward to the twist again on the inhale. This time the back knee lifts up off the floor as you open, and then shift into your arrowhead. So now the legs take the weight, all of it. Loop, pit of the belly lifts. Keep sinking through the left knee. Crescent, fill up. Sink down nice and low. Straight open, warrior two. Stay low, fix your gaze. Drishti. Notice if you're forward thinking where we're heading next. See if you can just be like the beginner in the pose. Just getting this pose done one at a time. Reverse, stay. Breathe in, downward facing dog, breathe out. Pivot around, send the left foot back. Come forward, high plank, inhale. Low plank, exhale. Upward facing fill, downward facing stay. Ultimately, all the practices of yoga are designed to purify. Purify body through movement, purify mind through the work. Bringing the mind back to the innocence. Innocence of beginner mind, innocence of a child, whatever you want to call it. Kyate just means innocent awareness, unconditioned by our life so far. Taking one more breath. Come back to that innocence. Kyate. Look forward. Float, front of the mat. Halfway lift. Lengthen. Fold, empty. Reach up, Tadasana, fill. Sink, chair, empty. Stay, fill up. Fold, exhale out. Halfway lift, fill. High plank, float. Breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Urdhva Mukha, in. Adho Mukha, out. Right leg, take it up, fill.
Bring it through, low lunge, back knee down, empty. Sink and fill. Half Hanuman, exhale. Twist, low lunge, back knee lifts, inhale. Arrowhead, shift into the legs, exhale. Crescent lunge, fill up. Viratu, never done it before. Flip and reverse, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg, take it up. Low lunge, empty out. Sink, fill. Fold, half Hanuman. Coming forward, low lunge twist. Lift the back knee. Shifting to arrowhead, empty the breath. Crescent, fill up. Viratu, brand new. Reverse, inhale. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, exhale. High plank in, low plank out. Upward facing fill, downward facing empty. One breath. Exhale. Look forward, don't think, just jump. Halfway lift. Exhale forward. Reach up, Tadasana, fill. Sink, chair, empty. Breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Halfway lift. Float back, high plank. Take a breath. Low plank. Upward facing, downward facing. Right leg to the sky, in. Low lunge, out. Sink, breathe. Half Hanuman, empty. Low lunge twist, back knee lifts. Arrowhead, take the weight. Stay low though. Crescent, fill up. Viratu, exhale the breath. Reverse, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Left leg to the sky. Exhale through. Drop the knee, breathe in. Pyramid or half Hanuman. Low lunge twist, back knee lifts, inhale. Arrowhead, exhale. Crescent, fill. Viratu, empty. Reverse, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Shift forward, take a brand new breath in. Low plank, empty. Up dog, fill up. Down dog, stay. Breathe. Purity is innocence. And the older that we get, the more conditioning comes with us, the less pure. And so this practice, the older we get, becomes more important. More important for the physical body. Those of us who are aging, who are getting up there, know just how important this practice is for the medicinal value of movement. Mind, just as if not more important. We've got one more round. Look forward, jump, front of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen. Fold, empty. Reach up, Tadasana, fill. Utkatasana, sink. Stay, fill. Fold, empty. Halfway lift. Jump back, high plank. Breathe in, Chaturanga out. Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Right leg, take it up. Bring it through. Sink, fill. You can take pyramid if you prefer, or stick with half Hanuman. Low lunge twist, now the back knee lifts into arrow. Crescent, fill. Viratu, empty. Reverse warrior, in. Down dog, out. Left leg to the sky, fill up. Exhale it through. Sink, fill. Either pyramid or half Hanuman. Low lunge twist, lift the back knee. Shift the weight into the legs, arrow. Crescent, fill up. Viratu, empty out. Reverse, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. High plank, breath in. Low plank out. Upward facing fill. downward facing empty. Walk your feet up front of the mat. Bring them to hip width apart or wider. Hip width, 2 fists should fit in between your feet or wider. Pistol grip your big toes, find some length. Dive in. Padangusthasana, Paschimottanasana. Close your eyes. Innocent awareness. And it's like, you know, that beginner mind, that innocent, childlike mind, where everything's new, everything's fresh. It brings this sense of wonder. Even Rumi, the beautiful Rumi, recognized that unlearning is the highest form of learning. Bakasana, crow pose. Plant your hands, shoulder width apart, grip the mat with your fingertips. Bend your elbows, create a shelf. Bring the knees onto the back of the arms, onto that shelf. Rock your weight forward to bring your toes light, and then maybe find that balance point to float them. Hold there for 3. Squeeze up through the pit of the belly for 2. Malasana, deep squat. Toes out, heels in, hips down, hands to heart. Close your eyes if you can. If not, just look to the floor. Last breath. Lift your hips up, toe heel your feet in just slightly, gorilla. Slide your whole hand in underneath. Get the wrist stretch. Lengthen out, little half lift, and a deep bow. Padahastasana. Kyate. Innocence. Unlearning. However many years you've traveled around the sun, that's how much unlearning we have to do. And you see it in all the gurus and the spiritual teachers. They just have this glow about them that everything that they see, it's like they're seeing it for the first time. They have that childlike innocence. It's beautiful. And it's very present. Last breath. Release the hands out from underneath, and we've got half moon. Take all the weight onto the right leg. Right fingertips on the floor. Left side opens up and stacks. If you want to, you can take a bind, grabbing the left foot with the left hand. You can take the balance, taking the right hand off the floor. You can challenge your balance by taking the gaze to the wall, or even all the way up to that left hand. You've got 3, breathe, 2, straight over to the other side, like you've never done this half moon before. All the weight in the left, right side opens up, stacking, shoulders, hips, binding, balancing, challenging. 5, 4, use your breath. 3, 2, beautiful, forward fold. Coming to a halfway lift, fill up. Fold back down, empty. Reach up, Tadasana, inhale. Samasthiti, hands to heart, close your eyes. Take another moment here. Be willing, open your heart, open your mind to unlearn. Use the analogy of a cup. It's the empty space in the cup that's useful. If the cup is always full, it's not useful anymore. We empty our cup. Tree. Set your left leg as your stabilizer, you're balancing, right leg lifts. Low, medium or high. So toes on the floor, side of calf or inner thigh. Palms to heart center. If you have other variations, go for it. And if you want to take a variation of the arms, have a play, innocently, unconditioned, unbound. Core on, breathe. Come straight over to eagle, but place your right foot to the floor. Bring your left arm underneath your right, wrap it around, and then it's the left leg that goes over the top. So you're swapping the balancing leg. Now the balance side is your right, left side is looped over. Use it as a kickstand for balance, lift up the pit of the belly, fix your gaze, breathe. Aeroplane. Unravel, send the left leg back. Find the balance through that right leg. Crescent lunge. Drop the back foot, reach the arms up, take a breath in. Hands to heart. Lean forward, breathe in, lengthen, then rotate. Revolved crescent lunge. Left elbow, right knee, palms, lengthen, gaze. If you want to take variations, binds, half full, or wingspan, have a play, innocently. Last breath. Pyramid. Fold over that right leg. Straighten it out as much as you can. Drop the back heel. Soften. Maybe take a halfway lift. Lengthen out the spine. Now keep the length in the spine as you fold over again. And walk your hands back. Maybe towards the back of your mat. Tuck in your chin, close your eyes, 3 deep breaths. Standing splits. All the weight into that right leg, left leg to the sky. Use your right hand behind the right leg to bring your torso down lower, your head down lower. And then use that left glute to lift the left leg up higher. Left hand is for balance. If you want to take that away and really find the balance, then go for it. 5. Belly lifts. 4, 3. Squeeze it in. 3, 2. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold back down. Exhale. Reach up. Tadasana. In. Hands to heart. Samasthiti here. Close your eyes. Back. Kyate. Weight goes in the right leg, left leg, low, medium, high, or if you took a different variation on the first side, then match it for this side. Same goes with the arms. You can match it or do something different. Whatever you do, do it with that kyate, that innocent awareness. Viveka kyate. Notice, the more you practice with that beginner's mind, that innocence, practice becomes so much more playful. Garudasana, eagle. Place the left foot to the floor. Wrap the right arm underneath and around the left. If you don't have that big hug, then it's the right leg that comes up and over the left. So we're swapping the balancing leg. Left leg is your balance. Right leg wraps. Aeroplane, unravel, send the right leg back.
Got the wobbles.
Yeah, man. Crescent, fill up. Hands to heart, lean in, twist. We can become very fundamentalist about our approach to yoga, and we lose the playfulness of it. If you took a bind, if you took extensions, then do that. 3, 2. Pyramid. Unravel, fold, sink. Maybe a little halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Try and keep at least some of that length as you fold down a little bit deeper and walk the hands behind. Tuck your chin, close your eyes. We never want anything that we're doing to be a struggle. And how we do that is by bringing back kyate, the innocence, the playfulness, standing splits, all the weight into the left leg, just like we were when we were kids. Draw the torso down, lift the right leg up. Use your left hand maybe first, and then bring the right hand in for the full balance. 3. Dive in, squeeze, pit of the belly, glute. 2. Forward fold. Nice work. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold back down. Exhale. Reach up. Tadasana. Inhale. Keep your left hand up at the sky. Bring your right elbow to your hip. You're going to take dances. Natarajasana. So pick up the inside of the right foot. Bring the knees back together. And then kick back. Tilt forward. Find that shape. That is Natarajasana. Playfully. 3. 2. Straight over to the other side. Keep that awareness. Right hand up, left elbow to hip. Pick up the foot. Knees come together. Core on. As you kick back, you have to tilt forward from that right hip crease. 3. 2. Slowly release. Reach up. Breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Halfway lift, fill. High plank, float it back, empty. Side plank, heels to the right, left hand to the sky. Go for whatever shape you want to make. If you did my class yesterday, there's lots of shapes you can make in this pose. Hold for 3. That's why Pete's giggling. We're both very sore. 2. Now straight over to the other side. High plank, side plank with the left side down, right side up. And then any variation. You can match the first side. You can do something a bit different if you need to, as long as you do it playfully, innocently. One more breath. High plank, breathe in. Lower all the way down to your belly, breathe out. Interlace your hands behind your back and take snake, Sarvasana. Big toes together. Bend your elbows and squeeze them up behind you. Engage your legs and your core. On your next inhale, float everything up, including your hands off your bottom. 5. Squeeze the shoulders, lift up higher. 4, 3, 2. Pick a cheek. Close your eyes. Breathe. Locust, chin down to the mat, palms down, but down long by your sides, core on, legs on. On your inhale, lift up, looping the shoulders behind you, lifting your thumbs as well. So you really feel that loop, that external loop of the shoulders and the squeeze of the shoulder blades. And then work on the upward lift. 3. Squeezing the whole back side of the body. 2. Pick the other cheek, close your eyes. We've got one more. So you've got either locust, snake, which we did at the first one, or if you have bow, dhanurasana in your practice, reach around, set up. Grab your feet, your ankles, loop your shoulders, squeeze the belly, and then kick the the legs into the arms, and lift all the way up. Hold it there. 5. Back side of the body. 4. Keep lifting up for height. 3. Be playful in your approach. 2. And release. Pick a cheek, close your eyes,
come back to that Vivekakyate. Last breath. This is going to take us into half pigeon. So you can come into a bright upward facing dog and then push back to your down dog and set up your half pigeon. You choose which side you want to do first, left or right, doesn't matter. And if you want to do something else, so if you feel like a cow face or a double pigeon or frog is better for you in your best interest, then feel free to set that up. For those of you who are newer to the practice and you're not sure what half pigeon is, you set it up from down dog or all fours. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist, swing your right toes over towards the left side of your mat, and then extend the back leg as far as your hips will allow. Don't worry if there's a big gap between the right hip and the floor. You can either prop it up with a block or a blanket or a pillow, or you can just let it hover there. Puff your chest. Extend and then fold over. Beginner's mind is such a beautiful thing, such a powerful thing as well. Not having any preconceived ideas. Where we're heading next, where we're going, or even why, or even how. During these challenging times when things are so uncertain, it's so powerful to come back to that beginner's mind. That I don't need to know where we're going. I don't need to know how we're going to get there, how we're going to get out of this, and where to next. We're a society that's so much about what's next, what's next, what's next. When we come back to the innocence, that kyate, that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is what I'm experiencing right now, and it becomes wondrous. It becomes very playful, very innocent. So unlearn, empty your cup. Come back to the beginner's mind in whatever shape you're in right now and soak it up. Pose that is symmetrical, that doesn't have a right or a left, then stay as you are, or move to another pose that doesn't have a right and left, another symmetrical pose. If you're on your right side in half pigeon, double pigeon, gomakasana, cow face, then start to gently swap yourself over to the other side. For those of you newer to the practice, half pigeon, left knee behind left wrist, left toes swing out to the other side. Square the hips off as much as you can, extending the back leg. Puff your chest for some length. You'll feel a bit of a hip flexor stretch at the front of that right hip as well. And then lean into it. You can bring your head all the way down. You can support yourself on your forearms or rest your forehead. So grateful for this practice because I can catch myself. I catch myself forward thinking, trying to predict, and we can't. So instead of getting stuck in that conditioning, come back to the innocence of just being here. Unlearning. As Rumi says, recognize that unlearning is the highest form of learning. Knowledge, learning one thing each day. Wisdom, unlearning one thing each day. Meet on our backs. So if you've been in the one pose this whole time, take your time. Slowly make your way out of it. If you're in your half pigeon, just swing the back leg around and lie down on your back. For our bridge pose, so as soon as you're on your back, bring your feet flat to the floor, knees to the sky, heels nice and close to your butt, feet hip width apart. Push down, lift up, tuck your shoulders in underneath you. Then use your arms for leverage. Either push them against the floor or interlace them underneath. Get your legs really involved. Use your leg strength. Glutes come into play at the very top end, just to get a little bit more hip extension without locking out through your sacroiliac joint. Breathe. One more breath. Rolling out, Supta Baddha. Soles of feet together, knees wide. Whatever you want to do with your arms. We've got just one more bridge or wheel. So come, bring your feet flat, knees to the sky. Push down to lift up, tuck your shoulders in underneath. Go for it. 5 deep breaths. If you're taking wheel, then obviously you set your hands up, come onto the crown of your head, loop your shoulders underneath you, then push all the way up into your wheel pose. Last breath. Roll out, internal hip rotation. Toe heel the feet to the outer edge of your mat. Let your knees fall in. Keep your feet as they are. Just lift your knees up and then wash your knees side to side. Hug your knees into your chest, rock and roll, 1 or 2, up to Navasana, boat pose. Lift up your chest, lift your gaze, take the weight onto the back of your pelvis, so then maybe you can take the full variation, arms reaching out as well, 5, 4, 3, 2, place the feet down, take your left leg out long,
And bring your right leg underneath. So Pete's going to lie on his left side and take the quad stretch. So you can lean back on your hands, on your elbows, or all the way down onto your back. If you have the range to take hero's pose, Supta Virasana, that's both legs at the same time, leaning all the way back. Otherwise, it's one at a time. You've got 5 breaths. If you decided to take both, then you'll be here for the full time. If you've got just the one leg, swap it over to the other side. If you're lying on your side, roll over to the other side, grab the other leg, take it into the quad stretch. If you're in both, then you're staying. Make sure the ankle joint is open, the foot's not flexed, the ankle's not flexed, because it'll bring too much rotation into your knee, too much pressure. You want to keep the knee joint safe. Again, you've got 5 breaths, and for those of you who are in both, you've got our Supta Virasana, you might like to take it into the back extension version of this, where it's like you're setting up for wheel pose, but you're on your knees. You come up onto the crown of your head, and then you start to lift all the way up. Up to you. Otherwise, just stay here, breathe. 3 more. This will take you into your inversion. So slowly make your way back onto your back, releasing out of whatever shape you're in. Legs to the sky, Viparita Karani is the gentle option. Shoulder stand is the more intense, where you lift your hips up. Feet to the sky, balls of feet to the sky. Take the weight of your waist into your hands and elbows and stay. Toes to the floor above your head when you're ready. If you're not taking plow, then just stay where you are. Halasana is optional. See if you can maintain the length in your spine. So nice straight spine, sit bones pointing directly up to the sky. So you're not collapsing in the back. Bend your knees, let them land. Maybe they rest on your forehead. Maybe they rest either side of your temples or ears. Kanapidasana, again, feel the whole back chain of the body stretch out. No forward thinking, no worrying where we're heading to next, what could possibly happen. Just experience this pose for what it is. Then roll out to the next pose, which is fish, Matsyasana. Legs out in front, slide your hands in underneath your sit bones. Come up onto your elbows, loop your elbows and your shoulders and squeeze your shoulder blades underneath you to lift your heart, and then the gaze goes up and over. If you've got the range, all the way so the crown of your head hits the floor. If you want a bit of extra core, why not? Lift the legs. When we were kids, we would have done it. Playfully, innocently. There's this freshness and newness. Happy babies where we're headed next. So bring the knees in, take them wide. Grab your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees. release into a twist. Release from the happy baby, drop your knees to one side, spread your arms, or use the opposite, the side that you're taking the knees to, use that arm as a bit of a brace, and then take the head the opposite way. Back through center, take it the other way. Shavasana. The most potent opportunity for us to come back to that beginner's mind. Remembering how good Shavasana felt, that very first one. Come back to that. Allow yourself to just melt into it. Innocently, unconditioned, pure. Deepen your breath. Feel that breath move through your body.
And then start to bring some small movements back into the body. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, sway of the head, a stretch. Hug of the knees, making your way over to your right hand side. Lying there for a moment. Recognize that unlearning is the highest form of learning. Come back to that beginner mind, that innocence, that kya te. Notice the freedom, the freshness, and the playfulness that that brings. Come to a comfortable seated position, bringing palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And we'll seal our practice with the vibration of Om. Deep breath. Thumbs to third eye center, we bow. I honor the place in you where the entire universe dwells. That place is pure and innocent. When we're in that place together, we experience yoga, unity. Together we are one, together we say Namaste. Namaste. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Dee.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you have an awesome day today. Bye.
Bye.